Morning again, Brad.
Yes.
Welcome to the morning show. And of course,
Right.
as always, in the mornings, we have Brad here to answer your questions. And if you got any legal issues whatsoever, as always, I say make sure you have this number, 1-800-526-7977. That's 1-800-JAM-7977.
That is the most powerful number you could have.
Of course.
It is.
Of course.
For a law firm, because when you have a problem, when you have that issue,
Yeah.
that concern, because everybody is going to have that concern.
Right.
That problem or that issue is going to arise in your lifetime. It is going to happen.
Yes.
I have never. Have you ever met a human being who has never needed the services of a lawyer ever in their life?
No,
Never.
Whether it's a marriage, whether it's divorce,
Never.
whether there's always something. There's got to be
Unfortunately.
something.
Right.
You're buying a
Right.
house.
That's right.
There's got to be something.
Right.
It's not all bad, though.
Everybody always needs the service
Right.
of a lawyer.
It's not all bad,
Right.
'cause people
Which
think it's
is-
always bad.
Right. Which is my now, and here's my public service announcement. Tell your kids to go to law school. Everyone always goes, Brad, I should tell my kids I should have went to law school. I go, yeah, you should have, but you didn't. But tell your kids to go to law school. It's a good job. So that's my public service announcement, because everybody always needs a lawyer.
Always.
Okay? So when you need a good lawyer, when that problem arises, okay, and in all seriousness, when that problem arises or that issue arises, the last thing, God forbid you get into an accident, you're hurt, or you're injured, or your family member's hurt or injured. You don't know where to go, and Uncle Joe is telling you to call so-and-so, and you don't know who so-and-so is, and you're just listening to Uncle Joe because Uncle Joe, you don't know any better, and you're not thinking correctly. You don't want to not think correctly. Okay, everybody listening right now is thinking correctly because that problem is not pressing at this moment.
Right.
If it is, God forbid, I want you to call my office
Right now.
immediately. Right. But if that problem's not pressing, the time to think about these things is when the pressure's not on. When that problem is not pressing at the moment. So if I'm the type of attorney that you're going to want when that problem arises, or I'm the type of attorney that your friend or family member is going to want when that problem arises, and you don't want to listen to Uncle Joe, who you've never heard of that lawyer before,
Right.
but you can't think straight, so you're going to go to him or her, then what you should be doing right now, that's my phone ringing.
That's your phone?
Oh, my God, that's my office.
You got a real
Who's
phone, bud.
calling me? Hold on. Hello, I'm on the radio. Who's calling me? Hello?
This is live.
Yeah, I'm on the radio. Goodbye. Okay. All right. Person said, "Hi, Brad. Sorry, I didn't realize. I gotta shut my phone off."
You got a
But
real phone, though. I see.
Yeah, and look at this. And now I got my headphone thing going. All right. So the point being is that you need to think clearly
Yes.
when you have that problem. So think clearly before you have that problem. Okay? Why are we so good at getting verdicts, at getting great settlements? Because we think clearly as lawyers. We go to court more prepared than anybody. I guarantee you that. Okay? We
that's
go
what
to
it's about.
court prepared because we don't have to think at that second, because we have already prepared everything in advance. Okay? Prepare everything in advance. Take my number down now. Save it in your phone.
Yep.
Call the number. The best way to save it is call the number so you know you have it. 1-800-526-7977. That's 1-800-JAM-7977. Call the number now. Hang up after 5 seconds. I give you permission. You now have that number saved, and you have now thought rationally and clearly. And when that problem arises, you don't have to listen to Uncle Joe and go to Uncle Joe's lawyer, who you've never heard of before, who half the time will end up screwing you up anyway.
There you go.
Right, which is true, because you know how many cases I take over from people. I mean, I'm being facetious now, okay? And for all the Uncle Joes out there, I apologize. Somebody's gonna call up and say, "I have an Uncle Joe," and you're insulting Uncle Joe. I don't know who Uncle Joe is, but the point is that I've taken over so many cases from other law firms and other lawyers. And you just say, what were they thinking? What were they doing? It was just so simple. You know, last night with Chris on the radio,
Okay.
I had a young lady call up. I don't know if you were listening or not. And she was so excited. She goes, I went to like 3 or 4 other lawyers. I didn't ask her to call. I didn't know
Right.
she was going to call. She goes, I went to 3 other 4 lawyers. They totally screwed me up. And I'm just calling. I just got my work permit in the mail. And you're the best, Brad. And da-da-da-da-da. And I'll never forget what you told me. I came in. I thought I had the biggest problem in the world. And you said, no problem. I'm going to solve it. And she said, well, what do I do from here? And apparently what I said is, well, you just have to pay me. Which is true, because after you, I said, this is what we're going to do.
Right.
Everyone always asks, Okay, so what do I do from here? Well, you got to pay me. You got to hire me. And then I'll take care of it for you. And she goes, and you did it with a smile, and you did it, and I'm so happy, and I was happy that she's happy.
Beautiful.
And so the point is that you need a good lawyer.
Indeed.
And even if you don't have that problem today, save my number, 1-800-526-7977. But let's go to the phone lines if there are any.
1-800-526-7977. That's the number you need to write down, jot down, put in your phone, or make that phone call if you need the attorney to start working on your case immediately. If you'd like to speak to Brad on air and get your questions answered for free right now, the number is 718-749-5005. That's 718-749-5005. The phone lines are wide open right now. We're taking your calls on air. And again, the number is 718-749-5005. If you've got any pressing immigration questions that you might want to ask, now's the time to get that question answered on the radio. The number is 1-800-526-7977, 1-800-526-7977. That's the number when you want to set up an appointment, when you want to know that you have the baddest attorney. Let me say it in a Jamaican, the baddest attorney, which means good, by the way, Brad.
Oh, okay, good. I was about to say, wow, you know what? Here I thought I could be your friend. You're telling me I'm bad.
No,
leave.
Which means that you are the
I know. I have dealt with this community long enough to know bad means good.
Let me say this, Brad.
Yes.
They call in sometime, and I don't know what they're saying, and you know exactly what they're saying.
Right. I know what toppy de top means. Right?
Let's take some calls.
Okay.
morning. You're live with the attorney, Brad Bernstein.
Hi, good morning. I'm an international student here, and I was just calling to find out how I could possibly change my international status. I'm here on an F1 visa.
Well, what do you want to change it to?
I want to get like a working permit here, or get my citizenship.
Get your citizenship. Well, you can't go from student visa to citizen. Okay, you can go from student visa to a work visa. Now, how long have you been on a student visa?
For about a year and a half.
Okay.
Almost 2 years.
And now, are you finishing up school, or you just want to give up school, or you want to be able to work while you go to school? Tell me what your issue is.
Yeah, I want to be able to work while I'm going to school.
Okay, all right, so this is the story, okay? Generally, when you come on a student visa, you can't work. Mm-hmm. You can work 20 hours a week on campus, but those jobs are very hard to come by. Because how many
people on campus?
How many jobs in the bookstore? I mean, in the campus bookstore. That's basically it. So what you can do is this as a student. You can get a work permit under two other scenarios. Scenario number one is, say, I've been a student for more than a year, and the person who promised to put me through school, let's call him Uncle Joe. Okay, Uncle Joe promised to put me through school, and now Uncle Joe can't afford to put me through school anymore. The money's not there. He lost his job. He got into a fight with me. He's not sending me money. So there would be a hardship to me. I have a financial hardship at this point. And if you can show a financial hardship after you've been in school for 1 year, you can apply to the Immigration Service for a work permit to get a job to put yourself through school while you are in school. So I would assume that if you want to work, you do have a financial hardship. It's not that you want to work. You know, most students love the student life. Yeah. And if they don't have to work, they won't work. So I assume that you have a financial hardship. So the way I would go is come see me. Let's talk about that financial hardship, and let's see if we can get you a work permit via financial hardship. If not, you can request your practical training while you're in school, so you can take time off from school to do your practical training. I don't really like to advise that a lot because you get your practical training when you're done with your degree, and that way you can work yourself into an H-1B visa job. If you have a college degree already, and this is you're going for a master's or a second bachelor's, then you could always look for an H-1B job now and just change. But those would be your options.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
And once again, the number to call to set up an appointment, 1-800-526-7977, 1-800-JAM-7977. Good morning. You're live with your attorney, Brad Bernstein. Morning.
Good morning. I'm calling because my cousin filed for her daughter when she was 17 years old. However, she came here not in her name, but she's under 21 right now. And I was just wondering, nothing is going on because they want her to come to Jamaica to pick up the paper, but there's like, you're scared to send her to Jamaica.
Right. If she's 18 and over, if she's 180 days beyond her 18th birthday and she leaves to go back to Jamaica, she has perhaps a 3 or maybe even a 10-year bar to return. Now, recently, if the I-130 was filed and the mother is a U.S. citizen and this was done under 21 but over the age of 18, you can maybe take advantage of what President Obama has recently come out with, which is you can file your waivers here in America before you leave to go home. So I would suggest that let her come in and make an appointment with me, and let's see where she's at. Okay? But that could be an option for her.
Okay.
All right?
All right?
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
1-800-526-7977. That's the number you need to call to set up an appointment. 1-800-JAM-7977. Good morning. You're live with your attorney, Brad Bernstein.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
I have a friend of mine who's been in the U.S. since 2000 on a 10-year visa, and my friend converted it to a student visa and then applied for a work permit, and went to school for about 2 years and then stopped going to school but continued working until this day. And he wanted to find out, and he's been paying taxes ever since as well. So from 2003 to 2012, still working, paying taxes. Is there any way for him to become legalized?
Well, he's out of status right now. He's violated his visa status, so, it would be like anybody else who violates their visa status. The fact that you pay taxes doesn't help you become legal, unfortunately. But, you can get sponsored in a job, perhaps, if he's 245I eligible. If he has duration of status on his student visa, he can get sponsored in a job and be able, perhaps, to go home without having that 10-year bar to pick up his green card and come back. Perhaps he can get sponsored by a family member. Perhaps he can get married in a bona fide, loving marriage. There's all different options for him. I think the step one is let him come in and make a consultation with me, and let's see what options he has going for him. But he's like anybody else who's out of status. The one thing that he has going for him is that if you fall out of status from a student visa, on your I-94, you have that duration of status, that DS on your I-94. They don't actually give you a date in which you have to leave the country. So as a result of that, people generally on student visas and also on J visas don't have that 10-year bar that everybody else has to now try to file that waiver to go home. They don't need a waiver. They can go home and come back within a matter of a couple of weeks for their green cards if they have to. Not that we want to send people home. We want to be able to get their green cards here. But it is an option, and we do it, and we do it tens and tens of times a year, 20, 30, 40, 50 times a year, and people come back without a problem. So he has options, but let him come in and see me. Bring his passport, his I-94, all his paperwork with him.
Okay, I will definitely do that.
All right, thank you.
And again, the number to call, 1-800-526-7977, 1-800-526-7977. See if I can squeeze in this final call. Good morning. You're live with your attorney, Brad Bernstein. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're live. What's your question?
Mine is similar to hers a while ago about the out of status with international student and all of that. I had my practical training and everything, and it's kind of out now. So I was just wondering if everything was out there, but I guess I heard it already.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you have the practical training and everything, generally speaking, when you're on a student visa, you have that duration of status, so you can get sponsored in a job. You can get, you would have to go home unless you're 245I, but you wouldn't have a 10-year bar, which is good for you.
Okay.
All right, but come and make an appointment. Come see me. We can talk about it in greater length.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
And once again, the number to set up an appointment, 1-800-526-7977, 1-800-526-7977. And as always,
prior results do not guarantee similar outcome in future cases. To set up an appointment for a personal consultation with Brad Bernstein, call 1-800-526-7977. That's 1-800-526-7977.
that's right, 1-800-526-7977. Someone standing by right now to take your phone call. And of course, now is the time to make that call. If you procrastinate, nothing will happen. And sometimes when the bad guys catch up to you, it just makes Brad's work a little harder. It makes Michael Beniakwit's work a little harder. So now's the time to make that phone call, set up an appointment, and speak to one of the attorneys at the law offices of Spar and Bernstein. Thank you so much for being here this morning, Brad.
Thank you.
So can you say morning again to our listeners?
Morning.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Brad Bernstein from the law offices of Spar and Bernstein. Give them a call today. Someone standing by. 1-800-526-7977. That's 1-800-526-7977. 7977. Call right now. There's someone standing by to take that phone call.